Thank you all for coming. My name is Desi, or Advent, if you know me on any social platforms. Today, we're going to be going over TradingView, essentially all the features of it, how to use it, how to trade on it, if those who didn't know that you can do that, and also essentially just how to how to navigate everything, and going over the different plans if you do decide to use this, at least more than just the free or basic version. Anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to start off with the left side here. So right here, we have all your tools. Essentially, you'll find out, this will be for your crosshair. Do you want it to be a cross on the screen? Do you want it to be a dot? Literally, personal preference, whatever you want, straightforward. This second tool here is going to be what you're going to be using to draw your trend lines. The ray is what I personally use to draw broadening formations, for those who are familiar with the strat. And then we have a lot of different ones here. If you are a support and resistance user, you can use the horizontal ray. Just plot it anywhere on the chart. And one thing to note as well, when you're using your trend lines or whatever it may be, if you're on a Mac computer, if you want to before I used to zoom in and oh, the price is 4667. All right, cool, I got it there. That takes way too long. So to make everybody's life easier, when you're trying to plot a line on the chart, if you want to, you can snap it to the top of the wick, the bottom of the top of the body, bottom of the body, or the bottom of the wick. If you're using a Mac computer, you hold Command, and then it'll quickly just snap to the top of that candle, or the body, or the lower body, and then and you just hold it, boom, press it. Now it's at the top of that wick. Pretty straightforward. Guys, follow me so far? Give me a yes in the chat, thumbs up, whatever works. And then similar, if you're going to draw different lines, like if you're going to use the ray tool, you can command just to snap it to that one, then command again to snap it to the next one. Pretty straightforward. Now, one feature that I love, you can label your lines. So let's just say I snap it here. Let's just assume for the sake of the conversation, this is a support level. You can either click on it once and then go into the settings, and it'll let you type whatever you want. Let's say I don't know, support line. And with these settings here, the text alignment, the middle, right, top, all that. If you have it in the middle, pretty straightforward, it's going to be in the middle of the line. I have mine set to the right side of the chart, but you can set it to the center or to the left, whatever's cleaner for you. For me personally, I prefer the right side. And the text alignment, like I mentioned, I have it in the middle, but you can set it to the top of the line or to the bottom of it. I find, for me personally, for it to be cleaner this way. In terms of the style, this is where you can go in. You could change it to whatever color you want, red, whatever works for you. And then right here, this icon is going to give you, if you want a dotted line, like I have it, you could do dashed, or you could do a solid line. Personally, for me, visually, I prefer the dotted line. And then the price label right here, when you set let me see if that's correct. Oh, interesting. Anyway, so moving on with the style, pretty straightforward. The colors, you can make the opacity super solid or super bright, or super faded away with the opacity here. I personally just like 75. I don't want it to be too intrusive when I'm looking at it. And then down here, you can make the line super thick. Like I said, again, for myself, I don't like it to be too intrusive. I keep it at the lowest setting. And this is with any of the lines here in this drawing section here. Now, the next one, this one's going to have your Fibonacci retracements. I don't use anything else that's here, but again, pretty straightforward for those who do use the fibs. The way you would plot them out when you select that tool. And then again, you can go into your settings right here, and then you can edit all of your settings. So if you want, if you want it to have a color in the background, I personally hate that. I like my charts to be as clean as possible. So I just keep everything down. And of course you could change the colors individually there. Now for the next thing, this is going to be your brush, highlighter, rectangle, all that stuff. I tend to use, pretty straightforward for all of this. You could just draw whatever you want, go to your settings, or right here on the little bar that comes up, you can quickly edit it if you want it to be thick, little, whatever works for you. And the same thing, just click on the color. If you want it to be super bright, super faded, whatever you want. And then all these other tools here, pretty straightforward. Brush, highlighter, rectangle, draw your boxes. People who use supply and demand may enjoy this tool. And then of course, everything else, pretty straightforward. Now this is the text section. Again, pretty straightforward. After you click on it, you can just double click and then, or just click on the screen and then just type in whatever you want. You could change the text size here. You can make it have a background if you want. Visibility. I kind of just leave this alone. I won't touch none of this. And then here, this is like, people who use Elliott waves, stuff like that. These weird patterns. I don't use any of that, so I'm not going to go into that. I tend to use a lot of these tools a lot, especially for those who may be new when you're figuring out your risk-reward ratio, or if you want to determine how far something's going to move, you can use either the price tool, the price range tool, which is this one. When you set it, you can also like widen it if you wanted to. For the long or short position, for those who use the strat, I'll try to keep this simple. Assuming for those who use, for the sake of the conversation or the example, if you use the trigger or the setup candle as your stop, and let's just say your ultimate target is up here, right here is going to tell you how many cents or whatever it is that you're trading ticks, whatever it may be, against you versus how many for you. And then it'll tell you a risk reward ratio right here. So if you were ever wondering what the risk reward ratio would be for the specific trade, there you go. And then of course, you can widen this, whatever you want, and just click on this, bring it up right here, bring it down. Right here, pretty straightforward. It's just like arrows and stuff. Can like point to things. I won't go too deep into that. Your ruler, if you want to zoom in or out to like a specific section. However, I don't use this zoom tool. If you use a mouse with your scroll wheel, you can just simply zoom in or out. If you want to bring the price out, what you can do is on the right side, right here where the price is, you can press and hold and then just drag it. It'll make the candles big or make them small. And then you can quickly just zoom out or zoom in, depending what you're doing. If you ever get like, if your chart is like this and you want to go back quickly to whatever it is that you're doing, I'm assuming whoever uses a Windows computer, or if you use a mouse, quickly right click and just reset the chart. Makes it super simple. Then right here, we have the magnet mode. This is just another way, let's say if you were drawing, you have the magnet on, it'll just quickly snap to whatever candles you're doing. If you don't want to just do the method of holding command or left control if you're on Windows. This just keeps it permanently on. Right here, the drawing mode, like stay in drawing mode, what that would do is, to give you an example right now, let's say I want to do a horizontal line. Once I place this line, it takes me out of the drawing. I'm no longer drawing anything else. But if you want to draw multiple things without having to keep on clicking it over and over, you just click on stay in drawing mode. And then, so if I lay it down, it's going to stay on the horizontal ray. So I can just keep on plotting stuff out. Everything making sense so far? Any questions? Cool, thank you. And then if you want to erase all your drawings super quickly, pretty straightforward. Well, get out of this first. Right click, remove drawings, or deletes everything. And then right here, this is, you can hide all your drawings as well. So if I have a bunch of drawings on the screen and I want to quickly hide them, just click on that. And then right here as well, they let you remove all your drawings, remove all your indicators, whatever it may be. Pretty straightforward. And that's essentially it for the left side. You can experiment, see which tools and which icons that you like. It's all personal preference. Now, next, I'm going to go into pretty much where everything is going to be and how to view essentially what you have in front of you. On the top left right here, well, actually right here is going to be your profile. You can change your color theme if you want it to be dark, light, whatever it may be. You can see whatever's new, the help center. So if you have any questions, whether there's an issue with your account, whatever it may be, go into the help section and then just email them. TradingView is pretty fast in responding back. I've never had any issues with them. I truly enjoy them. And then also, since there is a lot of information, the help center will help you as well to identify what everything is. The keyboard shortcuts, it'll essentially tell you every single shortcut that you can use for like to do things quickly. I'm not going to go into it since it's all here. So definitely take a look at that if you guys have any questions. Anyway, so right here on the top left, this is the symbol search. It's going to pretty much show you the specific ticker. So if right now I'm on MO, if you wanted to look up SPY, just click on it and you can filter it if you want to. I kind of just have it on all. So you look up SPY and keep in mind right here, this is going to be the exchange. So this is for the New York Stock Exchange. If you were to use this one right here, this will be for the Argentina Stock Exchange. You always want to use the one for what you're trading. Most of us in here more than likely trade the New York Stock Exchange. So you would click on this one. And yeah, pretty straightforward. You can change all your tickers through there. IWM, whatever it is that you're trading. Next up here is going to be your time frames. So right now we're on the daily time frame. So each one of these candles is just one trading day. If I wanted to look at the 5-minute chart, just click on the 5-minute. Now this shows me the 5-minute chart right here. And then down here, it's going to show you the time intervals. So like, 1 o'clock, or sorry, 2 o'clock, 1:30, 1 p.m., X, Y, and Z. And then right here with this little arrow, you can click on this and whatever you have favored, it's going to show up in your hot bar or like the quick bar, I would say. So whatever time frames you trade the most, you can just quickly favor them. I believe you might be able to do this with the free version. I'm not 100% sure. But if you ever wanted to add your own custom time frame, for example, you can go all the way down here to the bottom And let's say if you wanted to, like the 65-minute chart, well, more than likely is not going to be default. So if you wanted to add this, or even, I don't know, the 70-minute chart, you can add that. And now each candle is 70 minutes. I don't know anybody who uses the 70 minutes, but, you know, just so you guys are aware. And if you want to do the yearly chart, pretty straightforward. Just go to the month, hit 12 months. It'll show you each candle for the year. Now, next, on the right side of that is going to be your candles. This is going to be how you want your candles to look like. Right now, I have just solid candles. If you wanted hollow candles, you can do that as well. Columns. No, that's weird. Anyway. The Heiken Ashi candles, whoever uses that. If you do use the strat, don't use those. Moving on. Now for indicators, this is how you would add them. So straightforward, click on indicators, search up whatever you want. I don't know, let's just say you use VWAP. You would just click on it, boom. And then actually, and then it'll just show it on the chart. Now this indicator looks to have added some stuff on my screen. That's weird. Anyway. And then right here on the bottom left, under the ticker, it's going to have a little arrow. This is how many indicators I have up. You can quickly just turn them on and off. VWAP, here, this volume profile, STRAT Assistant for whoever uses those. SADI ATR, you can quickly open them up, whatever it is that you're using. Let me see. If you wanted to quickly just remove it, when you're highlighting it, the little X right here, you can remove it. If there is anything that you ever wanted to edit on the actual indicator, just go to settings, and then depending on the indicator, it'll give you the settings here. Now the next thing would be, and then right here as well, let me see, the indicator templates. So this is essentially, you can save your indicators. So let's say, for example, if I wanted to save these 6 indicators with the volume, and you can turn that off or on right here. If you wanted to quickly just save your indicators, you can just go right here, right next to indicators, which is indicator templates, click on that, and then just save indicator template. So in this case, let's just say I have the strat with volume. I would go to save indicator template, and then I can name it whatever I want. So strat volume, save it. And then you can have it save the symbol if you want. So every time you bring it up, it'll bring up IWM and stuff like that. So when you go to your indicator templates, it'll show here, strat volume. And then you can favorite, of course, if you wanted to. And it'll be right here. So you can quickly go between them. I actually don't use EMAs anymore, so I can get rid of that. Cool. Now, the next place is going to be the alerts. So right here, you can create price alerts. This to me is really, really slow. And in this business, everything, you got to be fast. So what you can do to quickly set your alerts on the right side, where this little plus icon is, you can just click on that. Let's say if I want to set an alert when the price hits the top of this candle, I can either right click and then quickly just boom, add alert. You can have you notify you on the app if you're using the app. If you hit more actions, you can play a sound, so it'll beep or whatever, you know, whatever sound you use, it'll let you know, like that. What else? Also, you can have it so it'll only alert you once if you have it only once. You can do it every time, and it'll literally, every time it passes that price, it'll just bombard you with alerts. I did that once and woke up to like 1,000 notifications. So I leave it on only once. And then it'll show up here on your screen. And if you ever want to move it quickly, just press and hold and then just drag it. It's going to ask you if you want to confirm, save it, boom, straightforward. All that making sense so far? Yes, in the chat, thumbs up, whatever works. Cool. Thank you, Greg. Next, it has a replay feature. So if you ever wanted to go back in time and like replay the chart and see how everything is moving and working, right here. Oh, give me one sec. My Zoom thing came up. Right here, replay. Just click on that. And let's say if I wanted to go back and just see right here. And then it'll bring me all the way back here. And then down here, you can either just play it and then it'll just do one candle by candle, or, and this is the time frequency that it would update these candles. So if you ever wanted to go back, we'll jump to here. If you ever wanted to manually move them forward, just click on this icon there. Pretty straightforward. If you want to get out of the replay feature, just click back up here. There you go. The next thing up here on the top section is going to be your layout. So right now I'm on I'm watching one screen, but if I wanted to look at multiple time frames, they give you different options here. So like if you want to have either, you can have either the same chart and different time frames, or you can be looking at like the SPY here or IWM here, whatever may works for you, and whatever combination you want it, you do. For me personally, I have my setup like this. I have my 5, 15, and 30 minute that I cycle between up here. On the top right, I have my 1 hour chart. The bottom left, I have my 4 hour. The bottom right, I have my daily. Sometimes I'll flip to the weekly if I want to see what's going on there. This way, I can see the overall picture of what's going on. And let's just say right here, let me just do this for the sake of the conversation, or for the example. If I wanted to like choose different icons, or sorry, different tickers on each individual chart, when you go up here, you would sync and layout, you would turn this off. So now I can put individual symbols on each chart if I wanted to. However, for me, I'm usually looking at one chart at any given, one ticker at any given time. And you can also click on this arrow. You can save your layout. That way it'll just save this. So you never have to like redo all of this again. You don't have to put in the specific ticker or whatever settings you have. And then boom, just save it. Pretty straightforward. I'll go into a little later on about the different packages, but for the Pro Plus, the max you can do is 4 charts in a layout. And this will be considered one layout. If you want any more, I think it's like the ultimate version or the premium version that gives you all this other stuff. Anyway, next, the chart settings. This is how you're going to be able to change. Actually, let me switch back to this. The chart settings is how you're going to be able to change the background. So if you want the background to be a gradient like mine, you might not be able to see it clearly, but I have 2 different colors here. So it's a darker to lighter. You can have session breaks, so it tells you from one day to the next. I kind of just keep it off. The watermark, you can turn off. You can turn it on if you want. It'll tell you whatever ticker you're watching, what the time frame and what it is down here. And then, of course, the text would just be the text size of whatever it is that's on the screen. When it comes to the symbol, this is going to be like your candles. You can edit your candle colors here. You can have them if you want them to have borders. The wicks themselves, you can put them a different color if you want to. This is pre-post market. So right here, after hours is going to show me the post or the after hours price in blue. It's going to show me the pre-market price in orange / that light red. Highs and lows of the day, you can toggle that on here. The bid and ask if you wanted to. I keep that off because I'm looking at this on my broker anyway. And right here, you can set it if you want to see extended trading hours. Right there. So this is after hours, this is pre-market and after hours of the day before. Another quick way to check out the session and also your time zone right here. You can set it to this. If you want to quickly change your trading session, you can go down here, this little sun icon, and you can quickly just trading hours extended, just do it super quickly. Let's see. And then right here on the top right, oh, if you want to take off like all this extra stuff, you can click on this full screen mode. Pretty straightforward. It just gets rid of all the extra stuff. Just press escape to get out of it. And then right here, this little camera, you can quickly either save the chart image to wherever it saves on your computer. If you want to save this chart and print it out and review it at a later date or whatever works for you, you can copy your chart image. It'll copy it to your clipboard. That way you can just control paste or copy paste anywhere you want. Or if you want to post a link to your chart, you would click on this or in a new tab. You know, pretty straightforward. Excuse me. And you can also connect Twitter and just do it quickly through there. Cool. All that making sense so far before I move forward? Cool, thank you. So now on the right side, this is gonna have your watch lists, your alerts. So all your alerts that you currently have active and the previous ones, there's gonna be your alert log down here. Your current alerts are gonna be right here. So you can quickly delete them, you can pause them or stop them so they're not active. Now, when it comes to your watch list, I'm gonna show you guys really quickly on how you can create your own. So for example, right here where it says create new watch list or create new list, just click on that, name it whatever you want. Let's just say for the sake of this conversation, TradingView training. So now it's gonna be in my entire list up here in alphabetical order, TradingView training. Now, whatever symbols or tickers I want to add here, I'm going to go to, the specific section, hit the plus icon. Let's just say I want to add SPY and I want to add the major indices, IWM. Then let's say QQQ. Pretty straightforward. Prince asked a question. He says, is there a setting to have your price line with the wicks? What exactly do you mean by that? Actually, if it works for you, let me quickly. You can unmute yourself if you want to and ask the question a little clearer, if anything.
Hey, can you hear me, boss?
Yep, can hear you.
All right. My question was, like, say when you charted for the next day.
Yep.
And when you setting your price targets and how, as far as putting the price line on the wicks, because I know TD has that setting, but I'm not sure about TradingView. Like when you put in the price line, on the wicks, like if does it like attach to the line, right? Exactly, or I'm not really sure how to explain it.
I think I understand. So what you're saying is like when I'm drawing my lines,
Yeah,
how, like if I can like attach them to the bottom and top of the wick, and how to do that?
yeah.
Yeah. I went over this earlier, but essentially on the left side with the tool here, if you're on a Mac computer, you would just command and to turn on the magnet and just snap it top and bottom. You can
I'm on Windows.
on Windows, you would do left control. You would do a left control for that. Yeah, it's the snap feature. Those asking. And you can also, you can right click if you wanted to on that line, and you can add the alert directly to the line that you chose. If you don't want to like just do a line plus an alert. Forgot to mention that earlier. Did that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, moving on. So when you are creating a watch list, you can also separate them. So let's say if I wanted to set up a section in this area here, let's just, for the sake of the conversation, let me just add an individual stock, Apple. So I can also organize them within the watch list by like a section. So I would right click anywhere, wherever you want, add section. So I would do indices, name it whatever you want. And then I could take Apple out of here. So now I have my indices in one section. And I'll show you an example of mine. SPY sectors. I have all the SPY sectors here. I have the ETFs and futures here. I have all the futures specifically designated here, CFDs, Forex futures, X, Y, and Z. So you can organize your list and have it be super clean. And you can also sort the symbol in alphabetical order by just clicking on this. And you can also, let me see. There's a way, I believe, let me see something real quick. I believe by making a copy, I can save the list and then I can, yeah, Lonnie, I'm going to, this is going to be posted up on my YouTube channel. If you don't have it, you can click on my name on Discord and it'll have my YouTube channel there. If not, you can click on my link tree and my YouTube channel will be there as well. You can also export your lists. Or share list. I can copy the link and then I just copy the link and paste it somewhere. And then if you click on that link, it'll allow you to import this exact list into your TradingView. However, I believe that you need to have a paid version in order to do that. You guys follow me so far with the watch list, making sense? Any questions on that? Cool. So yeah, pretty straightforward with the watch list. You can just name it whatever you want. I find this to work very well because if you have just like one watch list and I'm trying to look for SPY, I'm going to be here for like, you know, I'm being dramatic, but you're not going to be here for that hour. You're not going to be there for hours, but you want to access things as quick as you can. So it's best to organize your lists if you can, or not even if you can, just organize your list. Don't make any excuses. So on the right side, moving forward, on the news list, this pretty much just has all the news, whatever came out that TradingView puts out. Data window, it'll show me the ticker, the time frame, the exchange type that it's under, if it's the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, AMEX, X, Y, and Z, the volume, and all. And this is this right here is just for your indicators. I don't really use this myself. For hot list, this is essentially, it just shows you the most whatever had the most volume for the specific exchanges or tickers. Right here is a calendar. It'll show you the economic calendar and what news is going to come out that day. So keep that in mind. Although I don't use the calendar on TradingView, I usually use marketwatch.com or Forex Factory. I've never really compared the list to these, but just to be a little more reliable, I kind of just use other things. My ideas. So TradingView, for those who don't know, is like a social platform. So you can post your ideas. You can just look at other people's ideas, which I'll show you in a little bit, but you can post your ideas. People can comment on it, subscribe to you, stuff like that. There's also like public chats, so people talking about stocks, private chats, whoever like you DM directly. Right here, ideas, there's just like people posting ideas like, hey, Amazon looks like X, Y, and Z. This is going to happen. Right here, streams. This looks like people who are streaming, whatever it is that they're streaming. Down here, notifications, pretty straightforward. I left a review for TradeStation. They responded back to me. Cool. Now, all that, before I move on to the next, well, actually, hold on. Before I move on, MC has a question. He said, is there a place like we can readily find the list by subject area, like EV, tech, oil, etc.? MC, if I'm understanding your question properly, do you mean if there's somewhere where you can quickly find the stocks that are in that group or in that like section? So on TradingView, not that I'm aware of, just search on Google. You can search on Google and be like, give me a 50 or 100, or you can put like, what are some oil stocks? So it'll give you like MRO, Oxy, what else? MRO, Oxy, MPC, HUSA, CVX, AA, ZOM, stuff like that. So you can just go on Google, just search up what are some oil stocks, and it'll come up here. The same way, yeah, I don't know about this, just said he uses FinViz. You can sort it by the sector and the industry, and it'll show you all the stocks in that specific sector, which you can just add to your list here manually, like I have done here. So like, EV, Ford, Fisker, Tesla, Lucid, Neo, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, FinViz is a great resource. If you guys don't use it, definitely use FinViz. Cool. So before I move forward, all that made sense for the bar on the right side? Cool. And the next part for the right side is going to be the order panel. And I'm actually going to just speak about connecting brokers. So depending the brokers that you use, you can actually take trades directly off of TradingView, which is one of my favorite features for TradingView. So before I get into that, the way you would do that, right here on the bottom, click on Trading Panel, and it's going to show you, click on See All Brokers. It's going to show you all the brokers that you can connect to TradingView right down here. I myself trade futures, so I use TradeAvate. So I just connect TradeAvate, boom, and then just take my trades directly on the chart. For those who trade Forex or use Owanda, you can connect it here. When I used to use Owanda, I used it. I personally enjoyed the way it worked. For any international traders, you have interactive brokers, FYI. But yeah, straightforward. Just click on whatever your broker is, use your credentials to sign in, and then you can take some trades. For those who are new to trading on TradingView, I highly recommend paper trading. They have a paper trading feature here which for the training, I'll just show you guys. Mariah asked if you just need one broker. That's entirely up to you. If I traded Forex and I traded futures, I would have two different accounts, one on Oanda and one on Tradevate. So that's more so just personal preference. Now I guess for the specific question of just one broker, if you mean in general, that's again personal preference. I myself have like 5 brokers that I use. Some of them I can connect to here, some of them I can't. Anyway, so moving forward. So it's a paper trade, pretty straightforward. Just I'll do it from the beginning. Go on the bottom, either click trading panel or the order panel here, connect broker. I usually just go down here, click on connect, paper trade, and it'll tell, I think the account starts at like 100K. And order panel, now right here, this is how you're gonna be taking trades. However, let me go to, I'm not sure what that sound was. That was weird. Anyway, so let's just say if you want to trade futures or Forex or literally whatever it is that you want to trade. Although on paper trading, you can trade anything. So keep that in mind. So let's just say if we wanted to trade, let's just say if you want to trade ES futures. Let me close this real quick. We got to turn on extended hours because we are going to be trading. Oh, it's closed right now. Let me actually go to an individual stock. Let's choose AMC. AMC was moving today, apparently. Extended hours, turn that on. Let's just go on the, gonna go on the 2-minute just for the sake of the training. So pretty straightforward. You can do market, you can do limit, you can do stop. The buy, this is pretty much the ask. The sell is the bid price. And then this price right down in the middle here is a spread. So right now, AMC has a 1 penny spread. When you do have candles on, it's going to give you the countdown for that time frame. So right now I'm on the 2-minute chart. Each candle here is 2 minutes. This one is going to close in 20 seconds. And then it's going to show me another candle that comes up. And then again, we'll put in an order, for example. So let's say if I wanted to buy AMC at 804, I can either do one of two things. I could just right click, go on trade, create a new order, create new order, and it'll snap to whatever price you're on the right side. It'll snap here. Or you can just quickly trade, place a buy limit, click on take profit stop loss. Let's say you want to buy 100 shares at that price and just click. And now, when it comes to whenever it hits this price, it'll fill me in here. Now, where you take profit and stop loss, depending on wherever you place your stop loss, is going to tell you how much you'll lose if it's your stop. You can also quickly just drag and drop and then just modify order. Boom, there we go. Now here, that's with the take profit, it'll tell you how much you'll make. Same thing, you can just drag and drop. Now, if you quickly want to get into a trade, let me exit this real quick. You can do market, which I personally never recommend you buy or sell market. But for the sake of the conversation or the training, let's just say we want to go long. Let's just buy 100 shares. We're rejected. It's weird. Oh, right. I just remembered something. Somebody's drawing my screen. That's weird. Interesting. So All right, hold on, give me a second. This is a little, turn this off, clear my drawings. So, oh, Alex, hold on. That's so weird. It's allowing you to draw. Sorry about that, everyone. Give me 1 sec. Stations, clear. Interesting. All right, I'll figure that out later. So moving on. I forgot to mention this. Very, very important. You cannot market buy regular stock during extended hours. You can only limit buy and limit sell. So keep that in mind. Give me 1 sec. I'm having all right, cool. So keep that in mind. And if you're going to buy limit, pretty straightforward. Buy limit, say you take profit stop loss, then you can just quickly move it wherever you want. Whenever it hits that price, it'll fill you in and the trade will be active. Let me see if I can just get us into a trade so I can show you guys how it looks. And now kind of, let me just do this, modify. Let me see if it lets me. I guess the paper trading isn't getting me in. It's weird. So whenever you get into a trade, Alex has a question. Alex, if you have a question, you can type it in the chat. When you're in a position, it's going to tell you your open P&L, whether you're down, whether you're up, whatever it may be. Mess around with it, paper trade. I wish the futures were open right now so I can show you guys in a live setting. Actually, I forgot that crypto is 24/7. Perfect. I'll show you with Bitcoin. So, go to the order panel. Let's just quickly set this. Let's buy 5 Bitcoin. Let's do limit. So, boom, I'm in here. Let me reset this. Oh, well, it got me out too fast. Let me do this. So, all right, Bitcoin is moving way too fast. Let's do 200. So, let me move this here. So it's going to tell you your open P&L. You can, if you want to just quickly get out of the trade, click close position, close it out, or if you want a partial close. Some brokers allow you to get out of the position partially. So if I want to sell 3 instead of all of it, sell some of it. And then let's just say I put my take profit here. Right there. Actually, just right here. Or my stop loss right there. Once it hits either one of these, it'll automatically get me out of the position. Or if I want to set a stop loss and profit, once it goes above my entry, I could just do this, modify, and then just quickly modify the trade. And then boom, it stopped me out in profit. So Alex asked, how good are the fills if you connect your broker? The fills are dependent on your broker. TradingView itself doesn't have, well, actually, I'll explain this in a little bit. TradingView itself is going to take the information from your broker. However, one thing to notice that I forgot to mention earlier, you need to pay for live data when you're using TradingView. So for example, you won't really see it here because I'm paying for the data. Let me just extend this. So right here, actually, let's go to SPY or any of these. If you weren't paying for futures data or market data, and the way you know if you have delayed data, you're going to have a little D icon, like a little yellow D. That means it's delayed. You don't have real-time data. So you would need to pay for real-time data. I don't trade regular stock on TradingView. I've always ever just traded futures, and in the past Forex, which it took the data from my broker, not from TradingView itself. But I myself, I pay for extended market data on the indices, New York Stock Exchange, AMEX, NASDAQ, stuff like that. I pay for futures data as well. And I'll go over that a little later. Sierra asked if I can explain the take profit and stop loss section. This is pretty straightforward. I'll explain it a little more. So let's just say if I want to get in at 16,975 and my target is going to be, let's just say my target is 16,989. So I can quickly either just put the price here. So 16,989. And then let's say my stop is going to be, let's do 16,960, just to keep it simple. 16,960. Also, something to remember. If you're setting a buy limit above the current price, it's going to automatically get you into the trade. So let's just say right now, the price is 16,965, and I want to get in, let's just say I do 16,987, which is above the current price. It's automatically going to get me in the trade. And the take profit stop loss that I set here, it'll automatically inject itself into the chart. Now, if I didn't have this and I just got into the trade, I can click here, protect position, click on take profit and stop loss. Well, I can't, I gotta fix this. That way, it'll set my take profit and stop loss. And right here in this section, the take profit and stop loss, it'll tell you the percent that you're risking, or that you will lose, or that you will make based on the account size and how much dollar value you're going to make when you hit your target or if you hit your stop loss. And these are going to be the prices, and these are going to be the ticks. The ticks are just the increment that this specific thing moves. So if I did, my math is correct, 100 ticks will just be a dollar move for Bitcoin. And this varies on whatever you're trading. Let me know if that makes sense. Yeah, so Mariah asked if I'm out of the trade once it hits my target, my take profit. Yes. So when you set up a bracket order, which means like what I just did now, let's just say I want to buy, say I want to buy, create a new order, limit, take profit, stop. So I have this bracket order. Well, it kind of happened too quickly, but let's do it again. Buy, set your stop loss. Let's just do 1,000 so it doesn't take me out so quickly. Once it hits either one of these prices, it's going to automatically get me out of the trade. So I don't need to babysit it. So if I'm swinging, I will put my entry wherever it is, my stop loss wherever it is, my take profit, and I'm going to go live my life. Because if you're waiting for a swing trade or whatever it is, you don't need to sit in front of your screen watching it every single day or every single second. And just like now, the trade that I just input, it hit my take profit, it automatically got me out. One thing that I would share with the people who use the strat in here. Buy stops or sell stops is a way to automatically get you in the trade when it triggers you in. So let's just say, for example, look on the 30 minutes. So let's just say if I'm going to trade this 2-2 up, I can just go right here. This is not going to be accurate, but just to keep it simple, I can set a buy stop. So this way, if I want to get in automatically, once it triggers a 2-2 up, it'll trigger me in. Once this candle triggers a 2 up, it'll automatically place my stop. And then I can set my take profit here. And then I just go do whatever errands I got to do or whatever it is. And then it'll automatically get you in the trade once it triggers this price. That'll be for buy stops. I also explained this. I created a futures guide. I'll post that in the description on the YouTube replay. Or actually, yeah, because I also use a Forex broker and they have buy and sell stops. I mentioned how to use them a little more in detail. I don't want to spend too much time on this section. But yeah, so far with the placing orders and how it works, is all that making sense to everybody before I move forward? Are there any questions about the taking trades before I continue? Cool. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about, which was a gigantic game changer for me. Oh, one last thing. The DOM will be like active trader for those who use Thinkorswim or any type of active trader on whatever platform you use. You can just quickly click on the price, right click, and then just buy market, limit, stop, whatever it is that you want. And then the trading panel will come up, take profit, stop loss, do what you got to do. Cool. So one of the best things that I learned, shout out to Cassie, she taught me this, one of my students. The object tree, for those who draw a lot of lines, the object tree is going to be your savior. So this is going to show you all the indicators that you have up, whatever lines you've drawn, brought on information, support and resistance, anything like that. And I'll show you an example. Let's go to ES. So object tree, it's going to show me everything I have on the chart. So I have fibs somewhere. I don't even know where. I can just delete it quickly. Oh, actually, yeah. I didn't even see it. Kind of just, so it's in my, oops. So I have my fibs up. I wanted to quickly delete it or hide it. Let's do that. I could exit it. There's an arrow I drew somewhere. I can erase that. A line I drew somewhere, I can erase that. And some fibs that are somewhere. Now, when you draw something, let's say I just draw this trend line here, it's going to show up here. And you can double click on it if you choose to. And you can do, you can write whatever you want. Test. And then I would also recommend you write it up here as well, because it's going to tell you what it is on the object tree. Because if I just have like a bunch of trend lines, I can get confused really easily on what it is. So, and then you can lock them so they don't move with this little thing here. So the object tree on the right side of your chart, this like these squares that are stacked on top of each other, click on that, open it up, and it's going to show you everything that you have or everything that you draw. So if I draw this horizontal line, boom, let's just say this is a resistance line, click on that. I can just say resistance, so I know what it is on the chart, and then in the object tree, I know what it is as well. Boom. Now, another amazing feature, as you can see right here, is there's a grouping feature. So the way to create a group is you would click on whatever indicator or whatever thing that you drew, You go on the top right here, create a group of drawings, click on that. Now you have a group. So let's just say if I have a bunch of resistance lines, usually what I do as well, I just copy and then I just quickly just paste. Speed things up a little bit. And then I can just quickly put everything in group. Make sure to label them as well, the group, so you know what's in there. Whoops. But like resistance, lines, whatever you want to name it. And then just lock them so they don't move. And then you can quickly just turn them all off at the same time. As opposed to, oh, I got to turn them all off or on individually. This will make your life so much easier. Now for broader informations, same thing. You can have all of them there. You can turn them all off. That way you can quickly organize and turn them all off depending what you're doing. So if you don't want to see the 4 hour, just turn that off, yearly, et cetera, et cetera. All that making sense to everybody? Cool, perfect. Let me see. Let me check my notes, making sure I'm not missing anything. All right. That's pretty much it for now. Oh, I don't really use this. There's a stock screener down here. You can look for different things if you want to like look for whatever had like the most volume in the day. Again, I don't really use this. I would rather just go to like to finviz.com or something else. Pine Editor. This allows you to create your own script, whatever that may be. So, and for some scripts as well, it'll show you if you go on your list up here where your indicators are at, this bracket is going to show you the source code. So it's going to show me the code that the person wrote out for the STRAT indicator, and it'll all be here. The scanner, do you mean like the screener, Alex? You mean the screener? Yeah, so on the bottom right, stock screener. Right here, it'll give you, you can just type in and you can filter it by what you want. How much market cap, the volume, the exchange, whatever it may be, stuff like that. Oh, whoops, exit this, exit that. Cool. So the last thing that I'm going to go over is the different plans. Let me just share my different screen. Give me 1 sec. Yes, this will be uploaded more than likely within the next hour after we finish in a bit. Probably by 7:30 p.m., 8 p.m., it'll be good to go with the highest quality. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. I'm showing my browser now. Can you guys see my screen where it says like the Pro Plus? Cool. All right. So depending on what you want, you would be selecting a specific package or, whatever it is, package, I'd say. For the free version of TradingView, you do not need to, if you want to use indicators, stuff like that, you don't you don't need to get any of the paid versions. However, you are limited to what you can do. So like on the free version, I don't believe that it lets you create your own time interval. So if I wanted to add like a 12-month chart, that's not there by default. So I would have to add that manually. For that, you would need at least the pro version minimum. And it'll tell you what it'll have down here. I myself use the Pro Plus mainly because like I showed you guys earlier, I only have 4 charts up in one layout. I don't, anything more than that, it kind of overwhelms me. So I just keep 4 charts and 4 time frames in one layout. That works for me. I don't use indicators. I literally only just have volume, which is an indicator, and then the STRAT Assistant, which is another indicator. And that's basically it. So this doesn't really apply to me. The 4 charts in one layout does apply to me since I like to see the overall picture of whatever the stock is doing. Premium, if you want more than like 4 time frames or like, 8 charts or like, 4 time frames of one stock and then 4 times of another chart in one screen or one layout, you can definitely do that with the premium one. For me, I don't really care about that because I'll just like open up a different tab with a different stock. And yeah, you can save different layouts. I only have one layout that I use, so I don't really care about that. You can export your chart data, all that other stuff. But yeah, for me personally, the Pro Plus is more than enough for me. If you find yourself, that you don't really care for having multiple charts in one layout, even though I do recommend it because it'll help you see the overall picture, because you can get tunnel vision when you're looking at one time frame as opposed to seeing everything. TradingView just had a deal. However, just keep an eye out. They might have another one for Christmas or leading up to the holidays. And of course, they give you discounts if you just do the annual package or as opposed to the monthly. Let me see if I can bring this up as well to show you guys the data that I'm paying for. Hold on, before I share it, let me make sure so no sensitive information is shown. Sorry, give me 1 second. All right, perfect. Let me reshare my screen. Give me 1 sec. Thank you for your patience. And let me know if you guys can see this. Mariah asked if I do annual or monthly. I myself do annual. Yeah, and like MC said, there was 60% off that they had for Thanksgiving / Black Friday. If whoever missed it, you can try to email them, or not even try, just email them, and maybe they'll give you like a grace period if you tell them that you'll sign up for the package. Maybe they'll bless you with that. See what happens. But yeah, I myself do annually, personally. So anyway, so right here on the screen, this is what I pay for. This is my plan, Pro Plus. The extra data, so I don't have any delayed data when I'm looking at my charts. I pay for NASDAQ, Arca, CME is like for futures, and it'll give me all the futures in CME, CBOT, COMEX, NYMEX, all that stuff. And then the New York Stock Exchange. I think for all of this extra data here, I pay like, I think it's $14 a month. Pretty cheap. And again, when it comes to information and data and accurate real-time data in this business, you need to have everything on point. Because if you're late even by 1 minute, you're behind everybody else. And for those who don't know, with when it comes to real-time data, if you are not paying for it, it is 15-minute delayed. Cool. Anybody have, well, actually, now that I'm done with that, that's pretty much it for the training. I'm going to allow all of you to unmute yourselves if you want to talk. Any questions that you guys have? Well, I kind of asked everybody to unmute. You guys can unmute yourself now. So any questions that you guys have, definitely let me know. Sierra, go for it.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so if we just go ahead and get, I know the plans, the plan will be under yours. Will that automatically give us the real data time, or will we just still have to add that add on?
Do you mean if you choose the Pro Plus package, if it'll give you the real-time data?
Yes.
No, that'll be separate that you pay for.
Okay. Okay.
For those who don't use TradingView or want to use TradingView, I posted the link on the chat, and I'll also be posting this on the description on the YouTube. I want to put it up in a little bit.
And will we be able to sync Webble to this?
Unfortunately, no. At least not at this time. TradingView does not allow, or at least Webull and TradingView, I guess they don't have like a deal together where it doesn't let you. It doesn't let you just yet, but maybe in the future it will.
Okay.
Email them, be like, hey, let me sync my Webull account. Cool. Prince, you're very welcome. And the others who thanked me. Any other questions that you guys may have? You can come off mute. You can type it in the chat.
So when we using the TradingView platform, we're trading directly off the chart.
Yeah, so you're taking trades directly off of the chart. So for example, like I showed earlier, Crave, I'm gonna post a screenshot and I'm gonna send it to you on Discord with the data that I pay for, and I'll put the data on. I'll put the data in the description section in the YouTube video as well. You're welcome. But yeah, so whoever just asked that, yeah, you can definitely just take your trades directly off of the chart. So if you don't like want to go into your broker, you could just quickly, boom, trade, buy, put the order in, and then just call it a day. And then you could just manage it from here. As far as I know, at least I've never tried, because the brokers that are here, I think like, what is it? I think, let me double check. I think like Interactive Brokers, you can trade options on it. However, I don't know if you can trade options directly on TradingView. I've never tried. I don't have any of these brokers that would allow me to connect it anyway. I trade options on
I have another question.
Yep.
So for what we're seeing, TradingView is basically just used to do the trading and the strat structure.
Well, you can use anything for the strat structure. Like Thinkorswim has the same indicator or the same script where it'll show like the candles. For this specific indicator, I have the STRAT Assistant, so it shows me the candles and time frame continuity and stuff like that. Just some people who don't use Thinkorswim, they use TradingView and they just input it in through here.
Okay, so because you were saying you wouldn't trade options on TradingView, you would just recommend doing the paper trading on Webble for the options?
Well, yeah, for Webull, if you use that as you're learning, just use the paper trading feature. as you learn how, you learn the platform, you know how it works and stuff like that.
Okay. Because I
And
just didn't want to confuse myself from what we had went over earlier and today.
no, of course.
Understood.
And MC, also another thing to mention. I didn't go too deep into it because I wanted to focus on TradingView for the specific training. But yes, MC mentioned, for those who didn't see it or for those who are watching the recording, if you use Thinkorswim, no, it's perfectly fine. And I appreciate you sharing. If you use Thinkorswim, it gives you real-time data. So you don't need to pay for anything. You don't need to pay for.
Thinkorswim?
Yeah, Thinkorswim gives you real-time data. You just need to have an account with them. And I believe you need to have, I think, like.
Is that the same as is it like the same kind of platform of TradingView, or is that just like a?
So Thinkorswim, well, I guess before I answer that, I think you need, like MC said, that you might need $1,000 minimum in your account to get real-time data. I myself, when I
Okay,
opened
so
my
it's kind of
account,
like the Power E-Trade thing.
yeah, similar. So Thinkorswim, all right, so in my opinion, it is the best. It is the best platform out there.
Thinkorswim?
Thinkorswim, because it has everything. However, I will say this, I am an aesthetics person and I love my user interface to be clean and to look nice and to allow me to customize it the way I want to.
And
So,
that comes into play with TradingView?
exactly. So for full transparency, I'm literally just paying like, I'm paying like 250 bucks a
Convenient.
year.
You're paying for convenience.
Yeah, I'm paying for convenience and for my charts and stuff to look pretty. But if TradingView ever changed their user interface and allowed me the customization that I can do on TradingView into Thinkorswim, I will never use TradingView again. But in the meantime,
Okay, so you don't use Webull.
I do for options.
Okay.
Yeah, I use both Thinkorswim and Webull for options. And then for TradingView, I use it to chart everything out, to keep everything in one place. And I have, like I use TradingView as well for my futures trading.
So just to be clear, we could link our TradingView chart to our brokerage account, and from there we could directly trade off our TradingView chart.
Yes, they're depending on the broker. Yes.
Okay. Could you give us an example on how to scale in and out of positions on TradingView?
Yeah. So again, depending on your platform, this may work or may not.
Are you still sharing your screen?
No, I'm going to reshare it
Okay.
right now. Let me know if you guys can see my screen.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you want to scale into a position, I think this might be a TradingView thing, which in my opinion is super, super, super annoying. But I think the reason why is because.
And when you mean scale in, what exactly do you mean by that?
So scale in is like, let's say if I'm going to put $1,000 into a position, I'm going to slowly scale in. So I could put a starter position in, and I might put 250 first. So let's say for the sake of the conversation, for Bitcoin, let's just say if I want to put 20 units or 20 Bitcoin or whatever it is that you're trading, I want to start off small. So I want to first put in, let's just say 5. So let me edit this real quick, just so I can adjust this. So I want to buy five units here, which I'm already in here. I'm gonna put my stop down here, my take profits there. Now let's say I also want to buy 5 more units down here. So I'll go here, place buy, and then I'll just buy. So, and then if I want to buy 5 more down here, boom, I can do that. So, you can use that as a method to scale in to whatever it is that you're doing. Especially if you're swing trading, I usually recommend putting in a starter position. And then for those who use the strat, just look for a TTO on a smaller time frame to put more in. Also, what just happened right now, my original trade was somewhere up here and my average down was here, and then it moved in between. The reason why I moved into this price is because it took the average of both my buys, and now this is my new average here. Now, if you wanted to partial out of your position, you would hit the X here on the right side, and it'll say partial close. So if I want to only sell 5 units, I can do that. So now it's sold 5 units, and now I have 5 units left at that average that I had. Let me know if that made sense. For the one who asked, I forgot your name. I think it was Big.
Yes, it makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then, yeah, MC just mentioned, like if you're scaling out or if you're partialing out, that essentially just means once it hits like this price here, let's just say if my target is up here above my entry, I would just hit my first target. Let me scale out of my position or partial out, and then just get out of it. In this case, it was a loss, but you understand. All that made sense, Big and everybody else?
Yes, it made perfect sense.
MC commented you pay less for contract fees on Webull.
Yes, so on different platforms, some of them might charge you commission fees, some might charge you regular SEC fees. So for Webull, they don't charge you any commissions. They just charge you the standard, I think like the exchange fee and the SEC fees, which is like, I think like 5 or 7 cents per contract.
And when we're day trading, are we supposed to be choosing same day expiration contracts?
I'm not gonna go too into that, since that'll be for like a whole nother trading or a session. But just to quickly answer it, if you're day trading, you don't need to use the same day expiration, especially if you're not familiar with trading. If you're not familiar with trading options. Like Alex said, if you're new to trading options, you should not be trading 0 DTEs. You should mainly be focusing on swing trading, because day trading in and of itself is a skill that needs to be learned. So I usually recommend swing trading to beginners so you can get a feel for how things work. And also, if you don't even have a proper system or a proper plan or even know what you're doing, you're just going to shred money by trading 0 DTEs.
And when you say a skill, you mean in learning how to use the platform with the market movement?
Everything, your platform, how to trade, what to trade, how things move, what time frame to trade on, how to choose the correct expirations, the correct strike prices, stuff like that.
Okay, so say if I did pick a 0 DTE, but I seen that it had potential to be a swing trade, how would I buy more time?
Well, in that case, you can't, because you are buying a 0.
Okay.
That's you would do that before you even get into the trade. If it's going to be a swing trade and it has a potential for a swing trade, then it needs to be how do I say this? It needs to be established as a swing trade. Again, this goes into planning your trade. If you're getting into a trade and then you decide, oh, this is going to be a swing trade, then you're already failing. You need to know.
We need to look for momentum based off a setup and a price target on a higher time frame, right?
Yeah, if you're swinging, you're going to be looking at the higher time frames. I myself use the 4 hour and higher to swing, and I use the 1 hour and lower to take trades intraday. But again, like MC mentioned, if you are going to swing, I recommend, if you're a beginner, obviously paper trade until you fully understand what you're doing. If you don't even understand the option Greeks, like the delta, theta, gamma, vega, implied volatility, all of that stuff, then you should not be using real money. I did create a options guide that I'll share in the description. Well, I guess for those in here, I could just post it in the chat. So if you are new to it, you can check it out. It'll give you a clear and easy way to understand the Greek examples.
So pertaining to the Greeks and implied volatility, if I was going to be choosing stocks that were extremely volatile, because those are the stocks that have the biggest moves, will the implied volatility matter? Because shouldn't the implied volatility always be high with these stocks?
Well, depending what you're doing, the IV does matter. But again, I'm not gonna go too into it, mainly because this is gonna turn into a coaching session. This is not what that is. But I see you trying to get that free game. I appreciate that. But yeah, the options guide is there. Of course, if you guys ever do want to know more, my one-on-one link is in the one-on-one section, or with any other administrator or admin in Hungary's or 100K's group. For those who don't have mine or who haven't seen it, I'll just post it in the chat here and in the description.
Okay, could we see an example of you choosing a contract, and could we see like a strike price of maybe $1 or $2 difference in the Greeks on that, and the difference between the Greeks?
That, my good sir, I will not do, at least not in this session. Maybe I might have a training on that down the line.
Okay.
Again, nothing personal, just to keep it.
Oh, I understand.
But again, I appreciate your questions. That's great that you are asking them. It's very, very important to know what you're doing. At the end of the day, like I mentioned, this is a business, and you need to know all the ins and outs.
The time frame continuity indicator that's on your screen, what indicator is that, please?
That's the STRAT Assistant Indicator. I'll actually bring it up right here. So click on Indicators, STRAT Assistant, and then just click on this one, the one that's from Ricky's Carol 2948. This number here might be different, but it's this one right here.
And who is it by? I can't see on your screen. I'm sorry.
Ricky's Carol.
Okay, and the candles is you got your failed two downs. You got it painted red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So actually, I'll go. That'll be the last thing that I mentioned here. Is go into your settings. Go to Style. I have this up. I have this off because I already know if it's a 2 up or a 2 down bar. But if you're a beginner to the strat, you can keep this on so you can know. Just so you can get used to it. It'll be in. Whoops. It'll be the two bar shape for the long, or for the bullet, or for the up or down, and you can change your colors here. When you first apply the assistant here, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna look ugly. Like I said, I'm an aesthetic man, so I keep that off. But I like my candles to be uniform.
Okay. And if I have multiple time frames up, because I'm doing multiple time frame analysis, how do I get the cursor to go to the same spot on every single different time frame?
Great question. So right here, you let's say if you have 4 screens up, the crosshair right here, this is what you want. If it's off, it's only going to be on one chart. If you have the crosshair on, it's going to be at the same spot on each and every single chart.
Okay.
Great question. That was a great one. Also, one thing to note, these lines here, if you do take trades, you're going to see a bunch of these. The way to turn that off is, let me go. So let me see if it's here. So right click anywhere on the chart, settings. It should be here in trading. Actually, let me see if it'll show me here. Settings, buy sell buttons. This right here, you can quickly market buy or sell to get any. Make sure to turn that off, because if you click that by mistake, you're going to be upset. Thank you to Trust My Levels for taking the L for us and letting everybody know about that. Executions right here, you can turn this off, so it won't fill up your screen with all the orders that you took. And then your position, let me actually open up a trade. I can show you guys real quick. Let's just market buy. Let's just sell this. So right here, where you go to settings, trading, the positions, you can turn this off so it just shows your position, or you can show your profit loss. You can show it in money, or you can show it in ticks. So I'm up 220 ticks, 122, whatever. Or you can show it in percentage in relation. I believe this is to my account size. So you can do it in money.
And if I wanted to, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If I wanted to see like the pre-market, so I could see like the highs and the lows in the pre-market, would I turn extended hours on?
Yes, so a quick way to do it on the bottom right here where the price is, this little sun icon. Well, in this case, it wouldn't show because this is Bitcoin 24/7. But on down here, little sun icon, click on that. Session, just click extended hours.
Okay, so if I make a line on the extended hours and then I turn extended hours off, would that mark still remain or will it disappear?
No, it'll still be there. So if I go here, let's say I put this line to that thing, you could put like what time was this? You could put if you wanted to after hours low.
What?
You come up here, regular trading hours. It's still going to show after hours low.
Okay.
Cool. Any last questions that you guys may or may not have?
Now I'm on a lot of questions. I know I'll have some soon as the Zoom ends, but I can't think of any more right now.
I appreciate your questions. I love to answer them. We're all here to make money. I love teaching.
Yeah, thanks. You helped a lot.
You're very welcome. Any other questions? You guys can put it in the chat. You can come off mute, whatever works. If not, in 5 minutes or in the next 2 minutes, I'll just end this. You're very welcome, MC and everyone else that thanked me.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Welcome. And actually, and thank you guys for showing up. This shows your dedication and your determination to learn and improve your trading skill. So give yourselves a round of applause.
Yes, I was trying to keep up. I'm definitely gonna have to go back to like the terminology that you were saying that you were sending me over, and I was just a little confused on some of the terminologies, but I'll get in.
Yeah, you know, as you can refer back to the video, look up some terms. It'll make more sense as you continue. You are still new to this, so, you know, give yourself some grace. Devin, yes, this is recorded. It's being recorded right now. It's probably going to be up on the YouTube probably in like half an hour, maybe a little earlier, after I end in a bit. However, it'll probably fully process in about an hour, hour and a half, so you can see the proper quality. Yeah. So yeah, whoever missed it and came in late, don't worry about it. It's going to be recorded. It'll be posted on the YouTube channel. For those who don't have my YouTube, you can look it up by, I'm gonna post it in the chat right now. At Cerulean Mind Academy. And if not, if you know me from Discord, you can click on my username and just scroll down. It'll have my YouTube connected there, or you can click on my link tree and it'll have my YouTube link there as well. Yeah, that's essentially it. Any other last questions in regards to the training? Not on anything else. I'll give you guys like 30 seconds to a minute. If not, we'll call it a day. All right, looks like everybody's quiet and no questions are coming in. I appreciate you all for coming out. I will talk to you on the internet. Oh, later. Let me not be rude. Later, everyone.